Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about the lava amplifier. I made a build on this 2 months ago and it's still very effective, right? And pretty much this build is going to be the exact same build as from 2 months ago. It's just that I'm going to try to make it up to date and also build it from scratch, right? Because it is a little bit complicated to build, right? And essentially the idea of this build is do a split pathing, right? Instead of trying to path all the husks into one place, I'm going to split the pathing up, right? So half the husks, ideally half the husks would go east and then the other half will go west, right? But what ends up happening is that 90% of the husks will end up west. And the husks that are in the east side over here are going to be either flingers, propanes, laser boys, and smashers, right? So those kind of husks are going to be in this area over here, but the rest are going to be pathing towards the west, right? Which is really nice because on the west side in this cave over here, right, all they're going to do is eventually get to the geyser as before, right? And then go in the geyser and then eventually landing into the lava, proceeding to die, right? Some little hustlings may end up really all the way on the far side over here. That's no worry either. Okay, so essentially for this geyser over here, right, there's going to be a blockway, right, so that they're going to path right straight towards this geyser over here, right, and then there's going to be a block off on this side just to make sure that they get over to the geyser, right. On the amp design over here, this is going to be designed in such a way where it's going to be dancing mini bosses, right, and Vixen helped me with that, so thanks to her we have dancing mini bosses for the lava. All right. When we jump up all the way over here, this is going to be this the east tunnel, right? So this east tunnel is going to have a pretty decent recycling system, right? And then there's going to be pretty much a recycling system just launched in east over here, and then with some wall lights and floor launchers, but these are kind of optional. You can use whatever traps you got, all right? So that is pretty much the design, right? And there's going to be a really thick block off. As you can see, this block off is kind of thick. You might even take a picture just for a reference. Okay, and then there's going to be a pretty decent sized lobber shield because the lobbers can lob from pretty far, and also the flingers can also fling from pretty far, right? So you do need a pretty decent sized lobber shield for this. All right. So that should be it, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the building. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and destroy everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have torn down my base, and essentially there's gonna be about 300 structures to build this, right? When I counted, just a little bit under 300, so it's kind of expensive, but it's not crazy expensive like Pit, right? So but yeah, let's get right into building. So the first thing I'm going to do is block off the front over here, right? So I'm going to block off the front as shown just like this, right? Just like that, right? That's a basic block off over here. Just give you a general idea how it's going to be pathed, right? So I'm going to put the walls all over here, right? Just all over here. And I'm going to put a floor over here, and this is where I'm going to path them up here. I'm going to path them up here, and then this is the pathway I'm going to be using. Oops. Alright, so that's essentially the idea of the pathway that I'm going to use it for the east side, right? And at this point, you can pretty much do whatever traps you feel like are best, right? So you can do whatever traps you feel like are best over here, right? But I can show you mine that I use, alright? But I'll get into that in a little bit. So once you actually launch the husks off these tiles, right, or whatever you use, wall launcher, wall lights, floor launchers, it's up to you what you want to use, right? And it'll come down over here, right? So they'll come down in this area over here, or they'll come down over here, right? Depending on what you're using up there. And then once you actually get them down here, they're going to want to path all the way over here, right? I want to path them all the way back over here, and that's the idea, right? To do that, we actually need some decent layering back here, right? We need some pretty decent layering back here. And of course, we're going to need pretty decent layering all around, all right? So for now, I'm going to put these walls over here. I'm just going to put these walls over here, just temporary for now. And just note that this area should be blocked off with a heavy amount of block off, right? But I'll show you that block off in a moment, all right? So first, let's talk about this block off over here, all right? So this is going to require a decent amount of layering. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is start layering this over here like so. Alright, I'm going to start layering it like this. Alright, so you can see I have a decent amount of slants, walls all surround this, right? And that's generally what I like to start with, right? And of course in this area I'm going to start doing my layers as well. So in this over here I'm going to do this. So this over here is additional layers, right? I'm going to use additional layers over here. I'll explain why. Right, just one additional layer over there. And I'm going to do this over here. Pretty much slant this all the way across. So in this particular case over here, I am going to be doing this. Just like that. Alright. And I'm going to be doing the same thing over here. Is going to be putting these two sandwiches like so, right? And this one over here, I'm going to leave empty. So this is an empty spot, right? So I'm going to do a kunai storm just to show you what's going on. Right, so we're going to have full sandwiches all in the west side over here. But over here, we're just going to do regular walls over here, just regular block offs like that. Okay. Alright, so with that in mind, we can move on. I am going to put this slant over here and slant these all the way across, just as shown there. These are going to be more happy sandwiches over here. So there's going to be lots of sandwiches over here, right, as you can see, and just no empty spots in there, right? So essentially, I'm just going to keep spamming these sandwiches all the way across over here. Sandwich this, sandwich this, sandwich this, right? Put sandwiches all across over there. Alright, so I'm going to kunai storm again, just to show you all the happy little sandwiches that I got, right? So there's going to be all sandwiches all the way over here, all the way across over there, and those spots are going to be empty, right? There's going to be tons of sandwiches, and all these sandwiches are the layers that are going to be required for the build, right? Especially when you want to be extra safe. Now, another thing you can do, right, is put a sandwich over here as well. Now, there is a rare spawn that can break this over here, right, but it is rare, right? But this would also help you quite a bit because there is a rare occasion where Smasher may want to hit on this tile over here, right? But it's really rare, and they have to be in a certain spot to spawn, right? And from this spawn over here, which is doesn't have many husks from, all right? So keep that in mind. So we have these over here, put sandwiches all the way across over here, right? We're gonna go sandwich happy over here. Really sandwich happy. We're gonna go so sandwich happy you won't even believe how much sandwiches you're gonna have by the end of it. All right. And yeah, sandwich over here too. And I'm just gonna put those two walls over there with a slant. So this is like the oddity, right? So this is the oddity of all those sandwiches, right? And but the rest are going to be just all sandwiches over here, right? Just sandwich it up, right? Like you've never sandwiched before. Okay, with that in mind, right? And I'm going to move on, right? So I'm just going to get one more overview of this. All your happy little sandwiches are going to be placed, right? Sandwich it everywhere, right? If you want to, you can put even more sandwiches, but this is what I have for my build. All right, and the reason why I have, so you can probably notice from my previous builds, right? I'll put that here, is that I didn't have this many block offs, right? And the reason why I have this many is because I've been testing with the Dam Buster and launching the Smasher all the way in these corners over here, right? And seeing if it still can path backwards, right? So it seems like I do need more layers. If there is a rare Smasher spawn, that can spawn over here, right? So I want to be as safe as possible, and this is pretty much what this build's for, trying to be as safe as possible, right? Because I want to be a safe boy. All right, and then just wall this all the way across like this. All right, so I'm gonna wall it all the way across. I'm gonna put a wall over here and a wall over here, right? And this is just acting as additional layer for this spot over here on target. All right. And then this is going to be a really important layer what I'm going to put over here, right? So I'm going to put is this over here. So sandwich it that way. Sandwich it all the way around like this. And then tilt the sandwich like this. Put that wall, and then this finally over here. And this is all the required layers for this area over here. I didn't need the walls in the back here, the 2 walls, right? So that's good. All right. Oh boy, this is looking kind of expensive, but that's all right. Don't worry. So as you can notice over here, this area is just a 2 tile drop off, right? This 2 tile drop off we actually don't want, right? So we're gonna actually layer it. We're gonna layer it more, right? So once we layer this area over here, right, now it becomes a 4 tile drop off over here, right? Which is awesome. All right, same thing on this spot over here. Put the flat floor in the pyramid, and now it's a 4 tile drop off, right? But we also need to put walls over here, right, to act as more layering. So even if they want to do the 4 tile drop off, they actually have to break another layer. Same thing over here, and same thing over here. All right, so those are the layers for that. Excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna do a kunai storm just to show you, right? So we put those pyramids, flat floors, and walls all surround it like that, right? Okay. With that in mind, we can move on to adding more block off. So once we have all those layered up there, right? And then what if they actually break through the 2 layers over here with the flat floor and the pyramid? We're gonna need more block off over here, right? Which is exactly what we're gonna do. Put more block off here, and then here as well. Oops. Here. So that's beautiful. I'm gonna put this over here. Beautiful. And I think I'm gonna also put a wall over. Actually, just to add a one more layer, I'm gonna put a wall over there. And I'm gonna put a wall over here as well. So I'm gonna put a wall over there, wall over there, wall over here, and wall over here. Right, just to add those layers over there. All right, this is totally optional, but yeah, I just want to be extra safe with those smashers, so I'm going to put those 2 walls over there. All right. All right, so this is looking pretty good, right? This is looking pretty good for the layering. All right, so once we have that, right, then we're going to add these 2 walls over here, and 1 wall over here, a wall over here, right? Just like a little plus over here, right? Or an X, however you want to look at it. Okay, and then from here, what I'm going to do is put the little slants over here, right? So I think I'm going to slant down like this all the way around. I'm going to slant that all around as shown like that. So that should be pretty good on that front over there. Alright, I'm going to put walls over here. Alright, I'm going to put walls over here because if they do take a shortcut from there, they can actually still drop down here, right? It's not necessarily a shortcut because it's 2 extra layers, right? It's 2 extra layers, but down here is 3 extra layers, right? So you see on there, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, but over here is 1, 2, 3 layers, 4 layers, right? Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Maybe I don't need the, actually no, I do need these walls over here. Yeah, never mind, I do need the walls over there. Alright. So with that in mind, we can carry on. Now, I did have these slants over here, I think. I think I had a slant over here, a slant over here, but I'm going to leave it for now because this is so close to where the mini boss can be and it might affect their dancing movements, right? So I'm going to leave these over here, even though in theory, these 2 spots shouldn't really matter in theory in terms of the block off, right? Or maybe it does, or maybe it does. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I don't think it does. All right. So with that in mind, we can carry on to building the rest of the block offs over here. All right. So another thing to keep in mind is that I'm going to have a block off over here. All right. So there's going to be a block off over here in this geyser area. I'll build that momentarily. For now, I am going to keep building these. Right. So I'm going to put a slant over here, a slant over here. Right. So put those 2 little slants or additive pyramid pieces like this. All right. I'm going to wall those off like so, right? So this acts as 2 additional layers. All right. Next, I'm going to put a wall over here and then put a slant facing this way over here. All right. So that's the layering on that side over there. And that should complete the layering in general over there. Okay. So for the geyser block off over here, we want to make sure we path all the husks to the geyser somehow, right? And if you have a proper amp design, right, instead of like a super duper skinny amp design, right, what you can do is block it off like this. Or actually, no, I'm diagonally path them over here. I'm going to diagonally path them over here, and then use a half floor. So this part is a half floor with the there we go, with the low half wall over there. So we got low half wall over here, half floor, and we have just like a little zigzag over here, right? So you can see how it's built like this, right? You see how it's built like that? And that's a good starting point, right? And that's pretty much the idea where you want to path them over here, right? Now we need to ship the lava bomb. Just place these two floors and we cool, right? Alright, let's move on to the block off. So the block off is like this, right? Put that over there, put that over here. Yep, and just like that. Curve it like, yeah, like that is fine. So far I've built this. Which is looking pretty good. Alright, and I do want to add more block off over here. So I'm going to do that. So you can see that block off over here. So remember, there is a flat floor underneath this tile. And you can just see I'm just putting pyramids all around that, with the middle one being a flat floor. And because that one's a flat floor, I'm going to have a wall over here, right? And this should act as 7 layers. Flat floor over here with the slant and the wall. Alright. So you can see this block off over here is like this now, right? And the two flat floors you have to be aware of is this tile and this tile, right? So those two tiles over there have flat floors, right? Okay, so let's move on. I might, now could be possible that, it could be, so I remember I had a build like this, flat wall and a slant like this, but it could be possible that I might actually get away with just this, right? I might get away with just this, because they're not going to be pathed diagonally towards the northeast. So it could be possible I might get away with just this and save one structure, which would be nice, right? Because every structure counts. This being like almost 300 structures, but yeah. So we also need to make sure that this geyser launches them over to the north side, right? And then that would pretty much be the slant to do it, right? It'd be pretty much the ideal slant. It's not too high and it's not too low. All right. I do want to, because one time I did have a problem, which I'll show you. So first place these over here, the full wall over here, the half wall over here, and a full wall over here. I should just place those down. With the, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put the low half wall over here. So in case that they get drop over here instead because of husk collision, right? I'm gonna put that over here. There was a problem I had with Wave 21. And Wave 21 lobber, for some reason, was lobbing at this particular lobber shield I used to have, right? So I'm gonna change up the lobber shield design like this, right? Instead of going out the front over there, I'm gonna start one tile back with the lobber shield, and then put a wall over here, slant, and then slant. Right, so it's actually only one tile more expensive than the previous one, but pretty much it's like this, right? We're starting one tile further back towards the east. All right, and then for this little spot over here, right? For this little spot over here, if they think that they can try to throw or whatever, then you just put this slant over there, and that should be it. Right, and it could be possible I might not even need it, right? Which I guess I could try removing it and see. Right, don't quote me on it, right? But maybe I can get away with it. Maybe. Alright, so with that in mind, we can move on. Alright, we can move on. Oh yeah, there's one thing I do want to recommend is that you put some sound walls at the front over here, because sometimes a husk might want to beat on a wall and it's not really explained, not sure why, but it's usually just a random assassin husk. So I'm going to put some sound walls. I'm going to use the higher durability ones with single reloads. But it's totally optional to which ones you want to use, right? Totally optional. I think for this one I might just use a wall launcher, yeah. So these ones are just a super high durability with lower reloads, but use whatever you got, really. And then I am going to be using this one. I guess I could use a wall launcher. If healing doesn't matter, you can use whatever one you got. And because sometimes if the launch is unsuccessful and they're hitting on this wall because of Assassin Husk, then this launcher will reset their pathing. That's all. Alright, so looking good so far over here. And the block over here is looking pretty good. So yeah, pretty much most of the build's done. Now I just have to complete the little things. Alright, another thing I'm going to complete is basically like this. I think I have it like this way. So essentially I'm going to path the husk on this tile over here, I think. Or I think something like this. If I can remember. There we go. There we go. That's how I did it. Alright, and I can remove this tile over here. Alright. So essentially, what I'm going to do is place the structure on there and place the structure on here first. Right? Place those two structures. And then I'll place these structures over here and then finish it off down there. So pretty much this is exactly what this looks like over here. Right? Exactly what this looks like. Alright, and this is where we're going to path in the husk, right? We're going to path them diagonally across like this, right? So I think over here is where they meet. Right? Path them diagonally over here and then path them down here, right? But we're going to need some structures over here, alright? Put those two walls down here on the amplifier on the east side and put a flat roof on here, right? So we're going to make sure we path them on down here, alright? Now I do have edited pieces over here, right? So on the geyser pathing, I do have edited pieces over here, so I can show that to you right now. Put this like this, alright? I do have edited pieces over here, and I did say this one's optional, but I don't know if that's 100% true, because even though it doesn't get destroyed and it seems like it's doo-doo path, but lately I've been having some smasher issues when I'm doing the dam buster testing, right? With the dam buster, I'm using it to launch the smashers back. So I'm thinking maybe this could be used, maybe I don't need it, maybe I do, right? But I'm going to test to see if I do need it. If you want to be extra safe, just keep it. But if you want to save that structure, you can just go ahead and remove it. Because I don't have any proof that if it actually makes a difference in the pathing. But I don't think it does, but you never know. Alright. And for the amplifier design, Vixen actually did the design for the amplifier. I actually just let her do her thing. But yeah, essentially for the amplifier design, you're gonna need some little structures over here. So I think I had a structure here, I had a structure here, I had a structure here. Right, so I had those slants over there. I had a slant over here, and then I had this. Right, so those four walls over there I had like that. And I think that's all I needed. Right? But I'm gonna double check on Vixen's video. But you know what? Maybe just could go a good time to watch Vixen's video. So yeah.
This is my amplifier build that works in conjunction with Kirby's split path lava amp. The mini bosses will come up the recycler and they will just drop down on this tile and they kind of bug out right here and they'll dance. All you'll need to do is remove some of the tiles that Kirby has down here, all of the walls. Be sure to leave those 4 walls right there, those 2 walls, that edited pyramid, this edited pyramid, and this flat floor here. Everything else will stay exactly the same, other than the tiles up here. You'll need to extend the lava shield. But this has been working 100% of the time for myself, and I have recently gotten it to work for many others as well. So have fun watching your bosses dance.
Alright guys, we're back, and hopefully I followed what Vixen said. But yeah, basically you have an amplifier design like this, right? With the walls over here, the two walls. We have the two slants on this side over here. We have a slant on the northeast, and then we have the four walls over here, right? We have the four walls over here, and we have a slant on this side over here. Alright, that's pretty much the amplifier design that we're going for. Alright, and it seems to be that when the mini boss get over here, they land on this over here and they start dancing over here. Alright, a really weird phenomenon. Alright, and actually, in the next video, I'm going to be trying to show how to dance those mini bosses, but we'll get to that. Alright, so we have the basic tunnel design over here, we have the tunnel design over there, and I think the remaining thing to do is to put down a lava shield and put down the traps, right? So first I'm going to put down the traps and worry about the lava shield later, right? Because the lava shield can always be adjusted. So I'm going to put a trap over here, I'm going to have a trap over here, and I think there's going to be some rare cases where a husk may get under here, right? Because they're like an assassin husk or something, or they get on this tile over here. But it seems like never in the middle, which is really strange. Now I'm going to put down some launchers. I'm going to put this 5 times impact, and then I'm going to put this one to be the 2 times impact over here for a little bit more durability. And then these wall launchers, the first 2 wall launchers I'm going to use are going to be 3 times impact double reloaders. This one is going to be a wooden floor spike, so you can use whatever wooden floor spike you got over here. This one's going to be a tar pit. This one of these 2 walls over here are actually going to be the 4 times impact wall lights, right? And I'm going to put a little double reloader triple impact floor launcher, right? And yeah, that should be pretty much the layout over here of the traps. This trap is totally optional because it seems like it almost never gets used. So yeah, that seems like the traps are there. I'm gonna put, because I'm a little bit of a fan of the sound walls, I'm gonna put some sound walls at the front over here. Alright, some sound walls at the front. Yeah, sound walls for the win. Okay, and then at the front over here, I'm going to use, let's say, a zero impact, single reload wall launcher. Right, just launch them a little bit back in case if it's assassin husk. Because sometimes the laser boys do like to hit on here, right? For whatever reason, I think it could depend on your positioning. But yeah, it seems like that should be it overall for this area. And I do also use a pole over here to encourage the husk to not try to get stuck under here. Yeah, that should be it for now. So I need to make a lava shield, right? And this lava shield, I think the best point of reference to do is either at the front or at the back, right? So I'm going to do the front one. It's a pretty easy point of reference, right? So first I'm going to start with this tile over here, right? So start with this tile over here as your lava shield base, right? So first I'm going to plant this over here, right? And this over here can be prone to lava hitting, right? So I'm going to block it off over there. Next, I'm going to start slanting this upwards, just like this, all the way across. I'm going to do this all the way across, all the way over here. Alright? So you see how I started from over there and put this all the way across over there like that. Right, all the way across, right? All the way up to pretty much the last tile. It's going to be the second last tile. Over here, right? Because the lava is candelabed from over here. Oh yeah, and also I should put traps over here. So I guess I'll put the... Maybe I'll use these ones over here, which I should have... Oh, I don't have built. Guess it's time to make some. So what I'm going to use is these ones. Double reloader, triple durability, and 2 healing. So I guess I'm going to make some of those. Oh, I'm out of that. Alright, so make some of those. And for this one up here, in case there's a rare spawn, I'm going to put this wall light over there. And I'm going to put a healing launcher over here. And that should be good at the front, right? These are just again for the assassin husk. This is for that rare smasher that can't happen over there. Alright. And then for this area over here, I'm going to extend this lava shield like this, right? Extend it all the way across. So see how I'm extending it? Right? So make sure that this flow launcher is 2 tiles high from here, right? So it's 2 tiles high like this, right? Where the slant is above the 2 tiles over there. So make sure you have that, right? And once you do that, and then we're going to start slanting in this way. Till we reach this point over here, right? So this point over here is really important because the flinger, if they're close enough, they can actually fling from this distance, right? So we do need some lava shield in this area. Alright? Essentially, if you built a valley lava shield, then you just connect the valley lava shield with the lava shield. So it's actually really convenient. Just like that. Go 3 across over there. Oops. Go 3 across over here. And then I'm going to do 3 across like this over here. Connecting all the way across over here. And that's the lava shield design. That actually should be the lava shield design over there. Alright. I'm going to double check to see for the valley, because I did change this block off over here. Previously I used to have a block off as shown like this. So I used to have a block off as shown like this. And I have changed it because apparently there is a rare mispod spawn in there in target, and there's a mispod spawn in there. It's like, what the heck? Make up your mind, mispods. So I just changed the block off to be 1 tile further ahead, right? Just like this, right? And this could actually change the amount of lava shield I need for the I need in general. So I think I could actually start removing some. Could be possible I could start removing some. So I think these ones I need for the valley, and this one I need for the lava. But I think that one I can remove. I think that one I can remove. Alright, cool. Alright, and how many structures I have left? 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am 7, so technically 6 structures actually. So the 6 structures I haven't put down my structures for yet. Which I think I may need to figure out just in case. But let me just upgrade everything to tier 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually in my endurance run. This is the 4th run I've done with this exact build. And I'm just going to go over some things that I might have missed in the video because, well, there's a lot of things to talk about because it's a kind of complex build. So one of the things I missed is putting these 3 slots over here. So put these 3 tiles over here, and this is actually important to be a part of the lava shield, right? I already have this for this area over here as a lava shield, but also make sure you put those 3 tiles over here in this area for the lava shield. Alright, and another thing too is I removed the rare spawn block off because I felt like it's not needed and the rare spawn still can't happen, so not a big fan of it. Alright, so make sure you do those 2 changes. I also edited this slant over here to face in the southeast instead of just the south side over here. So this was previously. I'm just going to change it like this. Alright, and there's one final change I'm going to do. This one is more or less for the facing husk, right? So behind the sound wall, sometimes a huskling or some sort of weak husk might want to come back here and whack on this wall. So I have a wall spike just for that in case they do face through the wall. Alright. And I think that's pretty much the only changes I did, right, since that. And every run has been very smooth, very good, right? In wave 18, wave 28, the mini bosses do dance back and forth over here, so that's good. Alright, so yeah, that's it for this lava amplifier, right? And next video, hopefully, maybe it's either going to be the bridge or it's going to be the mini boss dancing. So you can see I have kind of like a interesting design on the valley over here. And this particular design is actually going to be for the mini boss dancing. So the mini boss wave 5 or wave 16, when they come over the valley, they're just going to dance back and forth over here, right? And the reasons why they dance is still not 100% known to me, right? All I know is certain methods to make them dance, right? And one of the methods I do use, right, which I have been trying out for other builds and has been successful, and some failures, but I have to do adjustments, right, is that it seems like they do want to go in the back of the panel over here, right? And it seems like they want to prioritize some of these walls over here, all right? But however, it's because I block off over here on the back, instead of going all the way to the back, because it requires to break 3 layers, they go from the front over here and try to path around here instead. But it seems like they just glitch out and start moving back and forth, right? And I'm not sure the reason why. Maybe it could be because they think like they can target this wall, but they can't, right? So it seems like there's a priority on this wall or this wall to target, and then it becomes this wall and this wall, or perhaps the slant. So I have to still figure out exactly what's the priority and how they target the structures, and more importantly, how the heck do I glitch them out? Because yeah, it's still kind of weird to me how do I do it. But I'm going to keep on experimenting to figure it out. And so far I've been successful for the ridge amplifier, for the valley. Those ones seem to be 100%, and same thing with the Wamp amplifier, which I guess we can go right now because, you know, we're on this wave. Alright, so the Wamp amplifier over here has been successful. And, yep, the bosses just dance over here, back and forth. Back and forth. They'd be like, oop, oop, oop. Can start dancing now. Yep, so very much is exactly what you see there. And I'm trying to do this for many of my builds. Right? In the beach I still need to keep on testing. The hill I still need to keep on testing. The bridge has been successful, except for the north side of the spawn, so I'm still figuring out the north side of the spawn. Pit I haven't tested yet. I wish I had a pit mini boss spawn so I can test it out. But yeah, this is what I've been doing for the past few days. Because you notice I haven't been posting much, and it's actually because I've been testing those mini boss dancing mechanics and see if I can do this for all my amplifiers, because that'd be really nice. Oh, and before I forget, one more thing is I forgot to mention the layers over here. Make sure you have 7 layers on this east block off over here. As you can see over here, I have layers at the front, right, as you saw previously, right, with the walls surrounding it, and just slant over here. And then make sure you have 5 additional layers at the back over here. So you have a 1 wall over here, the flat floors over here, the pyramids on top, right, the 2 pyramids on top, 1, 2, and then the flat floor over here. So this is 1 layer, these are 3 layers, this is 4 layers, and this is 5 layers, so 7 layers in total, right? So you need to make sure you have 7 layers in total and you're okay. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and as always, have fun building.